When did breaking your parents' rules literally save a life? When my 13-year-old brother Marcus wobbled downstairs at 6:47 a.m. saying, "I think I'm dying," I almost laughed. Marcus said stuff like this every Monday to avoid school. But then I saw his uniform was completely soaked through with sweat and he couldn't even stand up straight. Mom didn't look up from her iPhone. "Don't even start, Marcus." My stomach, Marcus wheezed, bracing himself against the doorframe, is full of last night's pizza. Dad cut him off, not lifting his eyes from his laptop, which you snuck after we went to bed. I saw the box in the trash. I didn't. "We bought you that treadmill." Mom's voice was ice cold. $3,000. You've used it twice. "We got you a personal trainer. You hid in the bathroom until he left. And now you're trying to skip school again?" Marcus slumped forward with his breathing getting faster and more desperate, and I watched his face drain to gray while sweat ran down his forehead and dripped off his chin. Dad finally looked up with disgust. "You know what? I'm done. Bob from accounting sent his son to Wilderness Warriors. Kid came back, different but skinny at least. Lost 80 pounds in 8 weeks. Different?" I asked. "Doesn't matter," Dad said. "If Marcus keeps whining like this, we'll give him a real reason to whine." 8 weeks, no electronics, just hiking and exercise from dawn to dusk. Marcus slid down the wall until he hit the floor. "Feel like I'm gonna throw up?" "Good." Mom grabbed her purse. "Maybe you'll finally realize what you're doing to yourself." She turned to me, nails digging into my shoulder. "And you, stop enabling him or you're going to military school." They shoved us out the front door. Marcus couldn't walk straight. He weaved toward the bus stop like he was drunk, using parked cars to steady himself, leaving sweaty handprints on each surface. 3 kids waiting there immediately backed away, whispering. The school bus rumbled around the corner. Marcus had dropped to one knee at the stop sign, gripping the pole with both hands. When the doors hissed open, he grabbed the rail and tried pulling himself up. His arms couldn't hold his weight. Mrs. Washington leaned forward. "This boy all right?" Marcus made it to the second step before his legs gave out completely. He crashed down hard, knees hitting metal with a sick thud. The kids pressed against windows, staring in shock. I looked back. My parents' BMW had already disappeared from the driveway, so I thought fast and grabbed Marcus under his arms, hauling him backward off the bus. "We forgot we have dentist appointments this morning." His body was completely limp, dead weight. His breathing sounded wrong, too fast, too shallow. I dragged him across the lawn. The front door was locked, but Mom's Lexus sat in the driveway. She always complained about poor people who locked their cars, so she never did. I yanked the back door open and laid Marcus across the seat. The keys were in the cup holder where she always left them. I only had my permit. I'd only driven 5 times, always with Dad screaming about checking blind spots. But Marcus made a choking sound and left me with no choice. I jumped in the driver's seat and started the engine. The car lurched backward. I'd forgotten it was in reverse. My heart hammered as I shifted to drive and pressed the gas too hard, tires squealing. "Stay awake!" I screamed at Marcus, running a stop sign. The hospital was 8 minutes away. I took the corner too fast. A horn blared as I cut off a pickup. Marcus wasn't responding anymore, just making horrible gasping sounds. Another red light. I blew through it. The hospital sign appeared and I yanked the wheel hard, bouncing over the curb right into the ambulance drop-off zone, skidding sideways across the no parking, emergency vehicles only paint. I laid on the horn until staff rushed out with a stretcher. They rushed him through doors marked authorized personnel only. A nurse grabbed my shoulders asking how long he'd been sick. When I explained the exhaustion, constant thirst, and sweating from recent weeks, her face changed. "Where are your parents?" "Work. They're sending him to Wilderness Fat Camp tomorrow morning. We need help." Her expression darkened. "Stay here." My phone exploded with messages. Missing school. Then the car. Threats about military school, juvenile detention. One text from Mom. "Police are looking for the Lexus. You're done." Then, "Wilderness Warriors today. 5 p.m. both of you." 4 hours later, a doctor emerged, looking exhausted and furious. "Your brother was in severe diabetic ketoacidosis. Blood sugar 943. Type 1 diabetes. His pancreas stopped producing insulin. Nothing to do with weight." She explained how Marcus's body had been poisoning itself for weeks. He'd lost 20 pounds while his body ate itself alive. Another hour and he'd have slipped into a coma. The waiting room doors burst open. My parents stormed in with 2 officers. Mom screamed about Grand Theft Auto. When the doctor explained Marcus almost died from type 1 diabetes, Dad actually laughed. "Diabetes? Let me guess. You're going to say it's not his fault he's fat?" The doctor looked straight at the officers. "This child saved his brother from dying of medical neglect," she said, pulling out her phone. "I'm calling CPS. It's been 3 weeks now. Marcus and I live with our aunt, and he's learning to manage his diabetes with insulin shots and carb counting. Turns out he'd lost 2 shirt sizes while his body consumed itself, and everyone blamed him for being lazy. The hospital got the car theft charges dropped, and my parents, they can only see us with supervision, still insisting we overreacted about the whole thing."